Hell City Wrestling. Hell City Wrestling. Hell City Wrestling. City Wrestling. Hell City Wrestling. From Hell City we come.
Welcome to Hell City Street, aka Hell City Wrestling, and we have another interview for you again.
Please tell me it's Jack Harrop. Am I finally going to edit him in to the video?
It's not Jack Harrop.
Oh,
I was hoping it would be, but it's not Jack Harrop again.
that's
so.
fine.
It is someone really good though, so it's somebody that we have interviewed before, and yeah, there was a few little issues that happened the first time.
Oh, yeah. And the Instagram post for people that are aware who sent us it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we showed it a couple of videos before.
Yeah.
There was an Instagram post he made about us, and do you think we should mention it too?
I don't think so. I don't think he'll bring it up as well, because he's a friend.
Yeah,
He won't do that.
Yeah, so, yeah, but anyway, so, yeah, we'll get on with the interview. We're not going to say his name because it seems every time we say somebody's name before the interview comes on, it doesn't happen. So should we go on with bringing the interview in?
But before we do that, the Cheap Pop Proper last video.
Ooh! Did you notice it while I was interviewing Madman Pondo?
I mean, I hope you did.
Yeah. There's something else in the video behind us at the moment, so, yeah.
Hopefully you see this video. But before we say anything else, let's see who it is.
Welcome back to Hell City Streets, aka Hell City Wrestling, and we are back with Alton Thorne once again for a second interview. I'm really excited this time because we're going to talk straight away about Bishop Auckland and Rise. So, you did exactly what you said you'd do. How does it feel, man?
It feels exactly how I expected it to feel, like a complete vindication of everything I've been saying for literally years. You know, coming through in the deathmatch scene is pretty hard when you don't know anybody that's a deathmatch wrestler, because in wrestling it's all about who you know, right?
Yeah.
So for a long time I didn't know anybody in the deathmatch scene. It was like beating my head against the wall trying to get any kind of movement going. And Rise, that was the goal. That was the goal. That's the goal for anybody in this country who wants to do deathmatch. Because they put on the biggest tournaments. They have the biggest guys over, you know? Like, they've been shining a candle for deathmatch for a lot longer than anybody else has in this country. And it matters. That stuff matters to deathmatch fans. And I wanted to be there, and I just couldn't get my foot in the door. I could not get my foot in the door, and then finally I start proving myself and traveling the world, and I still can't get my foot in the door. So eventually you just got to start taking matters into your own hands, right? As simple as it is. I said what I was going to do. I've said every single time I've gone there, I'm going to stand in the middle of the ring. I'm going to take a microphone and I'm going to say fuck Rise loud and clear for everybody in the audience to hear. And not only have I done that every single time I've been at Rise, I did it this time and won the match. Now, what was the difference? I told you guys last time, didn't I?
Yep.
I said to you, what I said to you was, the last time I was on the Rise show, they gave me 2 days' notice to prep for it. I was still recovering from a death match, 2 death matches the weekend before, you know? Like, I had no idea I was going to be on the shows until 2 days before. I had to find transport. I had to get down there. By the time I got down there, I was knackered. I find out I'm going to be on the show before as well. So I go out there. I'm like, right, I'll do exactly what I always said: grab the mic, shit on Rise, because they deserve it.
Yeah, they
They
do.
deserve it. It's as simple
They've
as
ignored you too long.
Yeah.
what do I need to do? Like, bleed out? Like, what? I reckon it's as simple as this. Danny O'Doherty. Now, you're not supposed to say his name at the moment, right? Because he's he's a man of God at the moment. Quite frankly, I don't think he wanted another guy on this show that can actually fucking talk, that might take a bit of the spotlight from him. So fuck Rise. I did exactly what I said, and I beat one of their best guys as well. Now, B.A. Rose has got the capability to beat me. He's knocked me out of tournaments in the past, but did he do it when I said that nobody would touch me? No, he did not.
And
So
you beat
fuck
him
Rise.
clean.
Yeah.
You beat him clean. That's the main thing.
There's no excuses.
No
on his
question
part.
about it. Yeah, perfect, man.
Next.
Okay, so speaking of, as you said, getting the foot in the door of deathmatch wrestling, how did you get into deathmatch? How did you get into wrestling as a whole? Like, what was the start of this?
This is a bit better, lads. These are some reasonable questions, you see.
Thank you.
We might
Thank you.
actually be making a bit of headway here. You didn't start by saying, oh, you're shit when you go to Rise, aren't you? We might actually get on a little bit in this interview. We'll carry on like this. How did I get into wrestling? My nan was a massive World of Sport fan. Used to watch it with her when I was a kid. In my teen years, I found Mick Foley and it, like, set a fire in me for hardcore wrestling in general. And since that point, I've never stopped being a part of it in some way, whether it was as a fan or then when I was training. And I think I didn't realise for a long time that you had the option to be a fucking wrestler in this country. But as soon as I found out, I was like, that's what I'm going to fucking be. And my goal was always to be one of the best hardcore wrestlers in the country, and I don't think a fucking soul can tell me that I'm not. So,
Damn right,
No,
damn right.
we definitely won't tell you not.
So that leads on. Actually, I was just thinking. Then, so there are a few minor people, a few little people that won't know who you are exactly, or they're not familiar with your work. Do you want to run down, just tell everybody here and now, what are your outstanding achievements? What have you done in wrestling?
In my first year as a full-time professional, well, I say full-time, I mean I've got another job as well, because it pays like shit sometimes. All you got to do is follow Big Fucking Joe and you'll see that. So, but I started off winning a title in my first year, went undefeated for, I think it was like the first 13 months of my career. It's immediately seen as a prospect and started getting put on shows all around the Midlands, winning heavyweight titles in practically every company I worked for. Won them in Stoke, won them in Leicester, won them in Nottingham, won them in Derby. Then I was in a tag team, won tag team titles all over the place, and then COVID happened and everything shut down. And luckily, what happened during COVID was deathmatch had a giant boom, and suddenly I was, there was a call for something that I really wanted to do, and I got the opportunity to go and do it. And as soon as I got the opportunity to go and do it, I was booked by TNT in their tournaments against Clint Margera. I won the Death Wolf title and held it for a year at Kumite. Went a year undefeated there as well. And everywhere started to value me, And then I went to Scotland, had the match that was voted Match of the Year in Scotland, and Dave Meltzer wrote about it in the Wrestling Observer, which was me and Jack in a barbed wire match, right? With the barbed wire ropes. Like, I'm no joke. Like, I was a double champion, Scotland and England for deathmatch. I just did a tour last year, a little tour of Australia. Went around some of their locations doing death matches all over the shop.
Yeah.
got to the final of a tournament in Australia. The week before that, I was in the biggest tournament in European deathmatch history. What are we talking about here? Why do I need to keep running through this shit? I'm not a piss about, you know? Sometimes in this country, if your name isn't Big Fucking Joe or Lou Nixon, like people don't. They don't. I know it's fucking stupid. I've done everything there is to do. Like I've pretty much battered the door of Rise down because those fuckers didn't want me, and they made it perfectly fucking clear. And I'm still getting booked by them because they know full well that it's better to have me in the card than not to fucking have me. Simple as that. They book me relatively regularly, despite the fact that they know I'm gonna shit on them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about. That's who I am. I'm fucking Alton Thorne. Alright? Now let's never have to run through that shit again. I've proven myself time and again. I've got scars all over my body, having proven myself time and again. Alright?
No, we'll never mention it again. That is it. Now it's there for everybody to listen to.
I just think like it gets ridiculous. Like everybody saying, "Oh, you're like the most underrated guy," or "You're no, I'm fucking." They can rate me however they want to rate me. I'm still doing whatever the fuck I want to do in UK deathmatch. So fuck them.
Yeah. What was it like at the beginning of doing deathmatch? Because you worked for like House of Pain and places like that, like LCW and that. What was it like at the very, very beginning of doing deathmatch for you?
Well, you know, there wasn't really a deathmatch scene at first. So when I was working LCW House of Pain, like I was getting practice in doing hardcore matches whenever I could. Like also, there's a place in Stoke that I spent a lot of time at where they were basically saying, well, what kind of matches do you want? They're called United Wrestling. They were saying, what kind of matches do you want? And I was like, I want hardcore matches. Give me hardcore matches, street fights, blah, 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 blah. So every month they're giving me this, that, the other. And I'm just getting reps in. Because I know as soon as I get the chance to do this shit, I need to be ready for it. And there's no real prep for it other than swinging chairs at people. So, getting into deathmatch, it took the wrestler Visage, who I think is currently in America. A friend of mine would also train at House of Pain, and they were asked if they wanted to do the first ever Kumite show, and they said, it's not my bag, but I know a guy who does want to do it, and that's where my name was first mentioned. Luckily, the guy that ran the show had already managed me in a different company and knew that I was really good. So sometimes that hard work that you put in at the start and just being in all the places that you can leads to the connections being made, you know? Because if I hadn't been on those shows back in that day, Malachi wouldn't have known what I was capable of. That role might not have fallen to me, but luckily my first death match was against Big Fucking Joe and Danny Darko in a triple threat no ring death match. That's a baptism by fire.
Yeah,
true.
I was ready for it, you know, because I'd done all that fucking work.
No, I mean, we're never going to be the people that go, Alton Thorne has not put in the work to be in deathmatch. He's not put in the work to be on top of companies. For companies to be built around him and worship him as the talent he is. But with talent, how did Hellbound come about?
So there's a company that was called Alpha Omega at the time, but they're now called Odyssey, which is in Morecambe, which is a fucking badass area for wrestling. Like the fans in Morecambe are rabid fans, right? It's a little seaside town. It doesn't even like you wouldn't like think twice about it, but in terms of wrestling fans, they are fucking great. Like as good as deathmatch fans who, as much as they might piss me off, I will admit, pretty loud and vociferous during shows, right? Like that's what you want. You want an atmosphere. Like so, you know, whether it's spitting at me, throwing beer at me, or whatever the fuck they were doing on the last show, at least they're making some fucking noise. Like, but yeah, what was we talking about? I've lost my train of thought.
Hellbound.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I was in Morecambe and I got added to. I was supposed to be in a tag team with a guy called Paul Malin, but he had
Right.
to drop out. And there was this team that was starting to form up, and we all got shoved together, and we were called Hellbound by the company. But I was like, that's the name. That's the name that I want to stick with because I
Yeah.
liked it immediately because it's what I'm fucking about, you know. I come into companies, I raise hell, I say whatever the fuck I want. Like I'm gonna try and I'm the baddest guy in the room the vast majority of the time. And the thing that people don't like about me is I can then go and fucking prove that shit, right?
Yeah.
So that's how Hellbound came about. We were kind of thrown together, but I was like, nah, 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 there's something in this. That's my shit. So I took it back to the Midlands with me. Myself and my partner Barricade at the time battered teams up and down the country and won titles. And then when Barricade decided to retire, I just got a load of guys in that I wanted that now go around the country battering people again. Like, as much chance as we get to batter people, we'll take that chance, you know?
I mean, on the subject of battering people up and down the country, you've also battered people around the world. You recently did a deathmatch down under tournament in Australia. What was that like? Like
This
dominating over
this
there?
is so much better, you see. You
Thank you.
see? So much better. Now we're talking about my accomplishments. We're not just like
Yeah.
pouring salt on everything I do all the fucking time, like the rest of the stupid fucking fans that I have to deal with. Like that won't even accept that I've done something in wrestling because it might not have happened in a fucking rise ring. Yeah, I went
Yeah.
to Australia and it was horrible to get there and to get back because I fucking hate flying. But I did it
Yeah.
anyway. Because that, you know, like it was 24 hours on a plane and I fucking hated it.
That's
But it was
awful.
one of the best experiences of my life. I lived like a rock star for 6 days. Like I had sexy Eddie on the bunk underneath me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
you know, like
Yeah.
I just partied. I partied and then I did some death matches and then I partied and I did some death matches and I partied and I got to the final of a death match tournament. I took out Callum Butcher. I took out Mickey Knuckles. You know,
Yeah.
I got to the finals and after that tournament, the person that a lot of people were talking about was me. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. And then the next night, myself, Jack Harrop, and Iceman won the deathmatch Ashes.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Australia was a great experience, and I'll happily go back and beat some more shit out of some more people and
Yeah.
accept beer from fans. That's fine by me.
I mean, throughout our conversation, I've noticed your T-shirt. Are you into horror? Maybe. Like, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. You see, this is why I thought you guys had potential to be something in terms of like interviewers because I know that you'd like to tie your stuff in with horror stuff and
Yeah.
deathmatch is from my perspective most of the deathmatch wrestlers I know love horror, are very
Okay.
passionate about it, genuinely care about it. A lot of like BA Rose quite wears his heart on his sleeve in terms of
Yeah.
horror, massive horror
He
fan.
does. Yeah.
Tom B as well, huge horror fan, you know. Because there's something in the slapstick nature of horror films and in the slapstick nature of deathmatch that kind of correlates, you know. There's something in the how far can you push people and the uh how gruesome can it get and it becomes more of a endurance test
Right.
rather than a match, you know? And that's
Yeah.
how it feels sometimes in horror films when they just last until the end. There's lots of fucking parallels between what we do and what they do. And the thing that I think is the funniest, the best thing about it is slapstick comment, like slapstick kind of comment, you know, the oversized
Yeah.
weapons, giant
Yeah.
things that you know that shit's gonna suck if it hits you, but it's quite funny to watch, right? So my favorite horror films tend to be the ones that are a little bit funny. Like I love Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Mm.
I love Return of the Living Dead. You know, anything that's kind of like leans into the Evil Dead franchise is my
Yeah.
favorite franchise. Anything that leans into the humor and the that kind of
Yeah.
that pushes the boundaries a little bit. So yeah, I think horror is important to deathmatch. I think it's actually desensitized a lot of people enough so that they can actually sit through the show. Because if you're seeing this gratuitous shit up close and personal for the first time in real life, it can be quite
Yeah.
shocking. But I think if you've got a history of, like, it doesn't bother me none to see my face covered in blood because I've been watching it since I was a kid.
That's true.
I was just thinking then. So we mentioned it in the last interview about Bleeding Gums. So I saw you live at Bleeding Gums a couple of times and that, and obviously Bleeding Gums just disappeared, went under. What was your take on the rise and fall of them? Because as I said before, you were just dominant.
Yeah.
There, you know what I mean. What's your take on the whole thing?
I think it's a shame how it all ended. But I think when you are starting up a scene, and let's be fair, this scene only really kicked off in 2021. Companies are going to come and companies are going to go. There's, the money that you make in deathmatch is, especially when you're starting out in a company and you're pulling in big names, you're not going to be making that much money.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. But the thing about Bleeding Gums was that they were determined to give deathmatch fans the kind of shows that they would want, right? And I can't hold that against anybody. And I think some of the things that company did were fucking amazing. And some of the shows that they did were important, and they were bringing an entire culture, to a country that didn't really have it. And now, Valor are trying to take the reins a little bit, and even ICW were forced to kind of do a little bit more of it because of the stuff that we started in Bleeding Gums. But, these things tend to be like a phoenix. Sometimes they rise and it is very, very bright, and then it burns out pretty fucking quick. And that's the nature of indie wrestling. Hopefully one day Andy will be back on his feet and everybody that's involved gets their money back and he can do something again, because I think everybody appreciated what he did. I'm not. You guys should know by now. I'm not just going to sit here and be a dick for the sake of being a dick. When I'm being a dick, it's because people fucking deserve it. Like Rise. People who fucking ignore your accomplishments and act like you're not worthy of them, when really you're better than most of the guys on the fucking roster and can beat them and prove it. And I only say most because I haven't wrestled some of them yet. So I'm not going to sit here and shit on Bleeding Gums because they don't fucking deserve it, Like, they went through some shit and it ended. But I'm not going to just be a dick for the sake of being a dick. They gave me some great fucking opportunities. I wrestled fucking Matt Tremont.
Yeah. A legend in the scene.
So yeah, that's my take on that.
Yeah, because Andy is literally one of the nicest guys on the scene. He's literally one of the best guys I've ever met, for deathmatch companies. And the good thing about Bleeding Gums, and I've said it to a few people, they didn't rely on silly comedy angles like a certain wrestling company. Things with that. You know what I mean? It's like, that's my little big gripe with him at the moment. But the thing with Bleeding Gums is, like I said, when it went under, you were due to face Danny DeManso. You shouted him out on the mic and he accepted it. It's like, that would have been absolutely solid. But I mean, obviously it may happen one day, it may not, but worldwide, who would you want to face? Who does Alton want to face? What is the pinnacle?
The pinnacle was Matt Tremont, and I faced him. You know what? Let's not go for worldwide. We don't need to go that far. There's one guy that's been ducking me for fucking years. Let's start with Iceman.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah, I like that.
Let's start on our doorstep, because I remember a certain guy retired for 5 minutes to avoid having a match with me in a different country. Does anybody remember this?
He did it in our city. We were there in the crowd when he retired. Yeah,
because I remember that. I remember the graphic went out for that and everything. Where's Iceman now? And how many shows have I been on with him since that point? And I've said into a mic a lot of times, I want to face Iceman. In fact, I've been goddamn respectful about Iceman. On a lot of podcasts, I've said how much he influenced the scene and how much he means to me personally as a professional wrestler and how much I admire him. But I'm not seeing a legend at the moment. When I look at him, I'm seeing a pussy because he's been ducking me.
Yeah, he says
Okay.
he's the best deathmatch wrestler in England and in the history of England.
Yeah.
Yet
He hasn't faced you yet, that's
No.
the thing. Yeah.
he hasn't
No,
proved
he
that
hasn't.
yet.
No, and he had the opportunity because I've been on show after show after show
Yep.
with him. He always seems to have. Like I was on a show with him when it was a tournament show, Lust for Death 2.
Yeah.
Great show, right? And I thought, I could put my title on the line against Iceman on this show. And the next thing I know, his match against Necro Butcher's been announced, and I'm thinking, hold up. Now, of course, Iceman and Necro wanted to wrestle. They've been after that match
Yeah.
for a long time. I think it had been announced a couple of times before. But I can't help but sit there and wonder, how many more times is he just going to slide under the radar and nobody's going to point out that Iceman's been ducking me for fucking years now?
Man, you had a nice match against Jack Bennett on that show. Yeah, that was good. You totally
Yeah,
tore him to
won.
pieces. That was nice.
Yeah.
Won that match, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jack Bennett.
Yeah.
Not much.
Jack Bennett he's a tough little bastard, right? And I mean, at the last Kumite show, he pretty much cost me the fucking Death Wolf title.
Yeah.
So he'll be getting more from me at some point. I'm not underestimating him because I know that he's a little pit bull, when he gets going. But I'm still like, all it takes really is for me to get hold of him, and I'll fucking crush him like a little
should.
fucking bug.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Right?
you showed us.
Yeah.
You better keep zipping around, You better keep throwing those kicks in and moving, because you better wear me the fuck out. But it takes a lot longer than you'd think for a 20-stone fucker,
That's true.
It's really good. This interview is going so nice.
I know.
It's like, considering
time.
last time we had a few issues and that, we're all friends now. I love this, so yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me all right? Is it clear? No,
Yeah.
not going to be throwing subtle digs online about my microphone this
No,
time
We
or
never
anything.
did. No. We
No,
never did.
no,
We just-
no,
there was
no,
technical
no,
issues,
no.
that's it, so,
Yeah, no digs at all. No. Oh, yeah, we're sorry if his mic was a little bit off. I saw what you were writing. Don't come here bullshitting me. All right? Look, I haven't even got this mic for you guys. This isn't to improve the quality of your show, because quite frankly,
know.
I could still give a shit about your show at this specific moment in time,
fair enough, yeah.
Like, you're worms to me. I've got this mic here. See this? This is so all the Rise fans can hear me loudly and clearly when I say fuck Rise.
Yes.
Right?
I mean-
So,
Speaking of Rise, again, who's next? Who's next? What's your next target in Rise? Or is that it? Are you moving on from it?
no, I'm not moving. Rise don't get moving on from Rise. Moving on from Rise. No. There is no moving on from this now. Do you understand me? There's no moving on from this.
Okay.
Right? They're supposed to be the number one, the most valued, and they haven't valued me for years. They're booking fucking referees in rumbles and leaving me off the card.
Right.
There's no done with Rise. This doesn't end now. I'm going to keep turning up at shows, and they're going to keep paying me. Do you know why? Because I'm money. I'm fucking money. And that Bishop Auckland show, you go and watch it on YouTube. You know what I've had people messaging me over the past few days to say? Match of the night. Match of the night. Me and BA. Match of the night. On a night that Rise have been selling as one of their best and most maddest shows of all time. What is the connective tissue here? What's the thing that's making all these things better? It's me. It's fucking me.
Yeah.
How dare they? How dare they? And their fans and how dare anybody tell me that I'm not good enough to be on their fucking shows?
Yeah, agree, yeah.
It's true.
How dare they? How dare they be booking all the people around me, every single one of them, and keeping me off? What? Have they not seen what I am? Do they not see what I'm?
No, we
No,
know.
chill. It's fine. No, we're on
Yeah.
your side in this. No, we are
No,
honestly.
you know what? You know what? Fuck them, and fuck. You know, fuck the interview as well. You know, because I played nice for a while, yeah. But you gotta keep stirring the pot about
No,
Rise, haven't you?
it's not our intention. No.
Did you not cover this at the start of the interview here? Eh?
Yeah, we're
You're just trying to
Yeah, but-
trying to make me feel like I'm too low and too stupid. I don't belong in
No,
Rise. Is that a problem?
no.
You're just the same as the rest of them. I mean, you fuck
No.
yourselves. You just fucking.
Oh.
I mean, I think technical issues again.
Yeah, we'll
lost
put it
Alton.
down to. We won't mention the mic, but we'll
No.
put it down to technical issues. Maybe just still a bit of a sore subject with him, and
I mean, some of it went well.
yeah, most of it did. But,
Yeah, I think he's a great guy though.
Yeah.
But again, you can't help audio issues. But talk to Alton again, see if he wants to come back on the show.
Yeah.
But well, we've been House City Wrestling.
Yeah, and it's been a pleasure talking
has.
to Alton again, and
Thanks very much.
yeah, we'll see you all again soon.